Okay, so when you're on a date, are there some red flags that may cause you to run the other way? These may be subtle indicators that date number 2 is just not gonna happen.
Yeah, but your red flag may be someone else's green flag. So what do you consider a dating deal breaker? Joining us now to talk about it is Lily Womble, dating coach and founder of Date Brazen. Thank you again for being here.
I'm so glad to be here. Let's get into this.
That's for real, because we're going to go through a few scenarios, and then we're going to see if there are red or green flag, and then you break it down.
You tell us if they should be for some of us.
Okay.
All right.
All right, first up, they show up late or cancel last minute.
Okay. What do you think?
I think you
Kendis said green flag.
You can have, that's no big deal. Like, people show up late. You know, my people show up late a lot.
Okay, I was late. I was late to my first date with my now husband.
Okay.
Now, the difference is I was proactively communicative, right?
Yes.
The bus was running late, and I was 20 minutes late because of the bus. So you're looking for somebody who's proactively communicating, and if they cancel last minute, they've got to have a valid excuse. And if they do cancel last minute with a valid excuse, then they got to be proactive about rescheduling.
Right.
Good
so
point.
there's a whole bunch of follow-up.
Right.
But it's a red flag for you.
Yes.
Okay. I think this one will have a whole lot of red flags, but I'm just saying. Okay, so what if they spend the entire time talking about themselves?
Could not be a bigger red flag.
But we're journalists, so we ask a lot of questions.
Okay, so you've got to expect somebody to co-create the conversation. It's got to be a back and forth between two adults. What do you think, Kendis?
So it is a red flag because, you know, hey, as a journalist, surprisingly, like, I don't like talking about myself at all. Like, if somebody asks, like, what do you do for a living? Often I'll say something else because I don't want it to be a non-starter of or to start up a conversation I don't want to get into. But if I'm on a date or so and the other person, all they do is talking and find unique ways to maneuver the conversation back to themselves, that's boring.
Red flag. All right.
Red flag, we agree on
All
that.
right, is it a red flag if they are rude to the wait staff?
Yep.
You are looking for somebody who is baseline kind, right? It's a total green flag if they tip generously, if they are kind and generous to the people around them. That really says a lot about a person, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you were getting into an argument or rude of any form to the taxi driver or whatever, that's a red flag for me. And you agree?
Yeah, that's just the baseline of human dignity and respect, I feel. And you get to expect more in your dating life.
But Lily, would you advise then for us to leave the date early?
I think you can leave the date pretty quickly thereafter, absolutely,
Okay,
right?
all right. Like, leave them with the check and be gone.
Early. Go to the bathroom, take a deep breath, get yourself together, and then say thank you and bye.
Okay, all right.
Next scenario, they are still close to their ex. I don't see the problem with it. Okay, split decision.
I think okay, so all these conversations are nuanced, right?
Yeah.
Dating is a microcosm of so much stuff. If they are proactive about talking about what do you want, do you mind that I'm friends with my ex? Or if you have a problem with them being close to their ex, if they respond and say, okay, great, I'm willing to set a boundary with my ex, then that's a green flag because they're responding to your needs, they're asking you what you want. But if they're like obsessed with their ex and talking about them all the time, that's a bless and release.
So that requires a follow-up too, so.
Yeah, it does. But also, like, you know, if you're dating somebody, that person means something to you for a period of time, and you move on, then that person isn't necessarily dead to you. Why not still have a relationship with them?
Why can't they be dead to you? We already held their funeral. Moving along, is a messy home a red flag?
Ooh, what do y'all think?
Well, that could be both.
I think that a dirty home is a red flag.
Yes,
messy, it depends on what kind of messy. But
Hoarder.
Hoarder. Look, you're looking for somebody who's an adult who's functioning in the world, right?
Even if the hoarding is Chanel?
Well, then that's a curated collection. Curated collection versus hoarding, very different.
I like that curation.
Curation.
All right.
Okay.
This is one that's been tearing the internet up.
Give it to me.
Finally, they don't believe household roles should be split 50-50.
What?
I think it's a green flag.
It's a green
I don't
flag.
want no 50-50 household.
I don't want, no.
Okay.
Like, in my household,
me.
I'm like, you know, my partner's like, oh, you know, you never clean the house. I'm like, I will pay for us to get somebody to clean the place. So, like, because I don't physically want to do it.
Well, then you got to have a conversation with your partner about what you're going to do instead of loading. I mean,
I consider that 50-50.
after this about that. Because I don't know, you then communicate that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a practice
communicator. This deserves a whole nother segment. So Lily, we're gonna have to have you back again. But thank you so much for joining us. And if you would like to see more of Lily's advice, you can visit her website or follow Date Brazen on Instagram. You can also order her book, Thank You More Please, which comes out June 11th.